il talento unito alla perversione.
Murder, violence, exile. Blood, blood, and more blood. Born into poverty, he tasted imprisonment, committed murder, and died in inexplicable circumstances before his 40th birthday. Let's dive into the dramatic world of Caravaggio to understand the journey of this genius, who was also, perhaps, a criminal. Caravaggio, whose real name was Michelangelo Merisi, was an Italian painter of the late 16th and early 17th centuries. He is undoubtedly one of the greatest painters of the Renaissance. Thanks to his revolutionary chiaroscuro technique and his ability to represent his subjects in an authentic way, he has the power to amaze you and make your eyes turn red with emotion. His paintings are often loaded with extreme feelings. For example, the dramatic tension in works such as Judith beheading Holofernes, or serenity in the entombment of Christ, or even in the disbelief of St. Thomas. They often depict drama and violence with savage intensity. Imagine, one evening around a games table, two men argue violently to the point of a bloody sword battle. Caravaggio is of course one of the fighters. He kills his opponent and he himself is injured. The verdict? He's sentenced to death by decapitation. Born in Rome, he was forced to flee the 1,000-year-old city for the rest of his life. There is also the fascinating story of Caravaggio and the Virgin Mary. A rumor persists that Caravaggio used a prostitute as a model to depict the Virgin Mary in one of his paintings.
Sarò anche una povera puttana, ma sono diventata la madre di Dio.
So, there's no solid evidence for this, but here's where it gets really interesting. But, wait. Hi, this is Plady. Hi, this is Ismael. Look, can we ask you something huge? Like a stupidly big sacrifice? You see, today our channel is tiny and kinda sad, but we are working hard to make it grow big and sexy and provide you with even better content. If you're enjoying this video, could you click on the subscribe button? That would mean the world to us and we'll pray for you. We'll ask God, or Santa, or whatever you believe in to grant all of your wildest wishes. If you don't subscribe, we'll find you. We'll catch you. And we will. Well, I guess we'll give you a big hug anyway. Still not subscribed? Place yourself in Renaissance Italy. The Catholic Church has this massive control over the art of the time. It dictates how sacred figures should be represented. And then, along comes Caravaggio, this art rebel who refuses to conform to norms.
Ne siete consapevoli?
He has a bold and new approach. He uses everyday models to create disturbing masterpieces. For example, with this painting, The Death of the Virgin. This piece differs sharply from the usual depiction of the Virgin Mary in religious art of the time, where she was often shown in a triumphant position, ascending into heaven. Instead, Caravaggio opts for a realistic approach. It shows the Virgin Mary in a state of very human vulnerability, with precise details on her aged and lifeless body. Scandal! The painting was rejected by its sponsors, probably because of the unusual way in which the Virgin Mary was represented. This caused a real uproar. Imagine the outrage in religious and artistic circles. Even though there is no direct evidence that Caravaggio used a prostitute for the Virgin Mary, the mere fact that such an idea is brought up is a testament to Caravaggio's ability to push the boundaries of the art of his time. But Caravaggio's transgressions do not stop at the choice of his subjects. Caravaggio's approach is based on the technique of chiaroscuro and tenebrism. The chiaroscuro technique consists of using marked contrast between light and shadow to give an impression of volume to the figures and accentuate the emotion and tension in the scenes. Tenebrism is a dramatic exaggeration of chiaroscuro, where shadows dominate with a few areas lit intensely. Caravaggio was an absolute master of both techniques. This is what we can see with this painting. David with the head of Goliath. The painting, although evoking a very well-known scene, exudes mystery. What feelings run in David's soul behind his pensive face? What last thoughts went through Goliath's head? This hanging head, with its glassy eyes, mouth wide open, as if the giant was still screaming. Our eyes are drawn to these faces like magnets thanks to the skillfully placed shadows on the canvas. The shadows, then the light, guide us towards the focal points of the work. Each of Caravaggio's works inspires different emotions. We feel the pain, tension, and suffering in each character. In Judith beheading Holofernes, the chiaroscuro makes the scene intimate. You feel like you're in the room. See those facial expressions? Simply chilling. There are also more peaceful works. As Saint Jerome, a rich and serious work that depicts a holy life entirely devoted to God. Again, the shadows created by the chiaroscuro make the setting intimate, and the lighting on Jerome is theatrical, but also seems in a way holy. When we see this piece, we are attracted by the supernatural presence that inhabits the painting. And then there is the call of St. Matthew. This painting shows an appearance of Jesus to his disciples, who are completely amazed. The use of chiaroscuro once again draws attention to the raised hand of St. Matthew, followed by the light which highlights the other figures. With the entombment of Christ, Caravaggio demonstrates his mastery of human anatomy by representing Christ's muscles in an extremely precise manner. It is a work that is both dark and touching. And Bacchus. This painting of Bacchus, the Greek god of wine, has a realistic and secular style. Bacchus is depicted shirtless, exposing his young, virile body, which is an unusual feature for depictions of deities at the time. The light in the painting comes from the left, creating deep shadows that accentuate the realistic dimension and texture of the objects. We can clearly see here how Caravaggio innovates by representing mythological subjects in a more authentic way, with a realistic approach that moves away from classical ideals. Caravaggio's life is an adventure novel filled with drama, passion, and epic moments. His tumultuous character, his duels, and his artistic audacity have made him a living legend. The end of his life is a canvas painted in dark shades and flashes of light. He died tragically in 1610, far from home, under mysterious circumstances. Some say he was overcome by a devouring fever. Others speak of dark plots, ruthless vengeance, murder and poisoning. Caravaggio is a fascinating artist. Unlike many artists of his time, he left neither sketches nor journals. He painted directly on the canvas without prior preparation. He left us no trace of his artistic process. With this absence of sketches and personal documents, we will always ask ourselves this simple but profound question. Caravaggio, Caravaggio, who are you?